This one I've got opened up here. This is actually a graphic layer, which I've turned into a smart object up here. And it's composed, let me move the playhead a bit here. It's composed of two elements. One is just simply a backdrop, a raster backdrop gradating from a solid color to transparency. And then on top of that, I've got a text layer with a drop shadow effect added to it. And in fact, because I made it a smart object, if I was to double click on it, I guess in the layers, if I was to double click on it, I can still actually go in and edit that set of layers, if you will. For example, if I wanted to change the text and so on. Let me go back though to my original video. It does pop it open, as you saw here, as a separate file. I can actually just close that as well. So in effect, that's a nested movie clip inside of a movie, if you will. And if you notice over here in the timeline, there are these little arrows which make them collapsible and expandable. And depending on the type of track it is, we'll see various features in here. The one I've included in here is the movement, which in this case, under a graphic track, it's under the transform. And it's very simple actually. If you go along here, you can see these diamond shapes. Those were generated keyframes that I created by clicking this diamond shape. And if I move along, I keyframed it off stage. Then I brought it onto the stage and I put another keyframe here. Then I dropped another keyframe down the road here, which basically holds it in position for that duration of time. And then I put a keyframe at the end where I dragged my graphic to the top up out of the stage, and it does do the tweening or the animation in between those keyframes. And I can actually apply this to any video clip. If I collapse this here, you can see that the other clips do have various properties that can be animated and so on along the timeline, such as position, opacity, and style, which really opens up a lot of Photoshop features to our video tracks, if you will. Okay, at this point we're ready to initiate a brand new file for video editing. And the way we start with video is we actually open one of the video clips straight from the Photoshop Open File menu. So I'll do that, and it will initiate a brand new file. So I'll go open, and I'll go to my files that I've already downloaded, which you should have downloaded as well, contained in a folder called Cut to the Beat. Now I do have one extra file in here, which is my previously created Photoshop file that I used to demonstrate. But you should receive 5 .mov video files and 1 .aif audio file. So just start with the first one, highlight it, and click Open. What that does is it establishes the frame size, the codec, the resolution, and so on based on the properties of that first video file that I opened. You notice what has happened here. It's called up the timeline. It's placed that first track in a video track on the timeline. Now, come over to the layers and take a look at what it's created here. It's created what's called a video layer group.